And I can tell you, we need not generalize. There are some discos that have actually tried compared to others.
The discos,
yes,
do. Because it's the job of a disco to make their job efficient, which means they need to change all their lights.
That is it.
They need to change their transformers and so forth.
The lines and all that.
I am yet to see a particular disco that has brought a new transformer. It is my colleagues over here who continue to buy transformers and use their constituency funding to give transformers to discos.
Thank you very much.
So I want to know what exactly is the responsibility
of the power ministry.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Like I told you, the oversight, general oversight of the sector, all segments, generation, transmission, distribution, renewable energy, energy transition, and so on and so forth. But there are agencies that handle this. When it comes to discos, the regulatory agency is actually NERC. It's NERC. That's the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Company. And the discos are also owned 60% by private investors. Remember, sir, 40% is owned by government. So
what we're giving is our own part of government.
We are intervening as a part owner of the disco because the responsibility still falls on government. So it's intervention. It's intervention. The primary responsibility of revamping or strengthening distribution infrastructures lie on the discos primarily. But we know what we have experienced since 2013 when we privatized the distribution segment. The government cannot just continue to fold its arms when these people have refused to invest. So what we are doing is to play our part as a part owner of the discos, 40%, and again, social responsibility on government for intervention in sectors.
I need to let you know,
so that is what
Mr. Minister, I need to let you know, actually has given a responsibility to this committee,
yes,
to look into the contracts of the different discos, whether to scrap them and take them back by government. If the government is spending everything on it, so what is it that they're doing? I don't know what your own opinion is.
Yeah, my opinion is that it is, and I can tell you, we need not generalize. There are some discos that have actually tried compared to others in terms of injecting new transformers, in terms of erecting new poles, new lines, and all that. And the personal penetration has actually improved for some discos, while others have been adamant in doing this. So I agree with you, Mr. Chairman, that we should take each of the discos on a name-by-name basis and not generalize. When we look at the contract they signed and what they have done so far, then we know how to treat each of the discos one after the other.
Okay, Minister, this is not what we came.
Let me
There's another meeting that we're going to convene for this particular purpose, yes, of the Senate.
Yes.
So you should also be ready to come with all the discos.
Okay.
So that we will see whether we can trash that.
Okay, we can fix a date for that. I will be ready to come with them so that we discuss it. Because I listened to the order was given that the discos should be called together with the ministry for us to meet with the Senate committee. We are ready to do that since it's in line of our duty. Then, to round up, the funding issues I've mentioned, the policy infrastructure, huge metering gap, which I addressed, then the tariff issues and migration to Band A. With due respect, sir, I want to state before this committee that with the benefit of hindsight, for those that are paying the cost-reflected tariff, I can say to the tune of about 90% compliance, a lot of them have confirmed the benefit of being in Band A. It cannot be 100%, we understand, but we are working on the remaining 10 or 15%. The majority are confirmed. So what we are saying is that instead of introducing or increasing the tariff, what we should be doing is to migrate more and more customers to the Band A by ensuring that the infrastructures are perfect and they are working well. And NAC is providing the oversight for that. Then 2025 budget. Let me just finish this presentation so that we can. We should respect the answers. 2025 budget, yes. If you look at our budget achievement for 2024, the current is about 85% average achievement. Salaries have been paid, overheads have been incurred, and we have about 25% budget achievement. For capital expenditure, I think budget achievement is about 60 to 65% to date. And we believe that between now and June 2025, we should be able to achieve close to 80 to 90% of this. The cutoff is June 2025 now.
Minister, we're going to dispute that.
Okay. Are still suffering from energy poverty. And we believe that it may be expensive to extend the grid for their benefit. So let us focus on alternative energy, which is the renewable energy. So distribution of solar home systems, rural street lighting across the 6 geopolitical zones under the Renewable Light Up Rural Areas program. We have about 30 billion budgeted. We asked for 100 billion so that can go around, but it was cut down for paucity of funds. And use your good office to increase it, we will appreciate it too. Then we know that we have emergency intervention for distribution infrastructure, just like we are having for TCM. A lot of times that TCM infrastructures are vandalized. The restoration work is emergency. If you don't do it within 24 to 48 hours, it becomes a national issue. So, which is why we are also setting aside this 10 billion to also intervene in distribution activities of our power sector, value chain. Then we have some mini hydro, mini grid, and solar home systems maintenance, where we have 80 billion. Then again, in terms of advocacy, we believe that our people need to be re-educated. They need to be reorientated to know that the power asset are national assets, and we should all jointly own it. Our people need to know that they should avoid power theft. When they see something, they must say something. Our people need to know that they must pay their bills regularly. All these need to be passed across. In addition to the little that the NOA, National Orientation Agency, has been doing, we believe that the power sector needs to do a lot of advocacy, a reorientation and re-education of our people. We are people of over 200 million strength. So we need to go to all the nooks and crannies through the social media, through the electronic media, through the print media to actually orientate and do this advocacy. So we have 8 billion budgeted for that. Then the issue of safety and security of our highways. This was actually desired by Mr. President and the entire FOC, that people should be able to travel any time of the day, be it during the day or at night. So, in conjunction with the Inspector General of Police and the Comptroller General of the Federal Road Safety Commission, we intend to collaborate to ensure that our highways are powered for security and safety. And we intend to use a couple of locations as pilots across the 6 geopolitical zones this year to ensure that we have street lighting. And not just street lighting, we have at intervals CCTV, closed circuit television, to record happenings on these roads. Not only that, we also intend to establish command and control centers at every 20 kilometers to ensure that they are properly equipped to patrol those roads, and where there's anything triggered on the CCTV, the security personnel will be there, and our people will be able to travel at any time during. This is long overdue, and we want to champion it. for this year. So those are the highlights of the 200 billion, which we believe that the laudable programs that we have during this period. And again, our general oversight remains. The key drivers of the sector are the operators, the GENCOs, the transmission companies, and the DISCOs. We will not relent in providing firm oversight over these operators. And again, our regulation will also improve to ensure that these people are able to do what is expected and what is required of them in line with the contract that they have signed during the privatization of these segments. This year we are committed to ensure we have an improved sector that will service the interests of Nigeria and Nigerians. And the power sector will not remain the same again at the end of this year. Thank you so much. We are ready to take the question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the chairman of this very powerful committee. Well executed speech, and then the document itself is self-explanatory. With a comment. I just have comment in two areas. I agree totally with the intervention in the TCN, where you put about 25 billion. Anything that will relieve the customers, that will not allow them to pay more money, we have to do that. Because if you are remove subsidy in the public sector, at least people should see the effect in other very critical sector like power. So I'm supporting that as a good intervention. Equally, the area of the transformer where you put 30 billion, and you say it will cut across the six geopolitical zone, that is why I want to make a comment. You see, I've looked through the 2024 activities. Some states benefited, some don't. We are representative of the people. I'm concerned more here about my senatorial district. This year alone, I bought 24 transformers. And it's as we have not started. It's almost everywhere. So please let every state, not zone now, what is going to each zone should also go to each state so that we have mouth to talk that we are here fighting for them. You know, we share bandit together. So we have to cross there frequently.
My state has to run.
You have to come there very frequently. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, 2024, I made a plea, and very passionate plea. And I said for over 100 years or so that I know what Nigeria is all about. My local government, even though we are riverine, even though we produce so much to the development of Nigeria in terms of oil production, after Oloipri in 1956, in 1957, oil was also found in my local government headquarters, Oporoma, in commercial quantities. And up to today, there is no light there. In Oporoma. And so it is appalling. When I became the local government chairman in 1997, Sir Chairman, because of this, your side talk, I tried to persuade Shell, that was at the oversight, and is still there. 24 hours they have light. But when you look over to the other side, which is the local government headquarters, there was no light. And up till now, we are crippling with generators here and there. I will plead very strongly that something else be done, not just my local government, but you have to look around into places that have similar problems so that at least we will also feel that we are part of Nigeria. The reason why there is so much restiveness in that region is because of similar things that we suffer. Please, it's a passionate appeal so that you put this into consideration. That this your reign, let there be a change. Mr. Chairman and the Minister, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Commending you. This budget is very excellent.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure if it is really implemented, it will make a change. So our prayers are that we hope there will be serious implementation as early as possible. The budget is laudable, but if you delay implementation before you advertise, before you do these things, the year will end. So my strong advice is that immediately the budget is approved, Honorable Minister, start the procurement process so that there will be implementation. Secondly, I will raise my case about the issue of transformers, which my chairman raised, because this issue of transformers, even though you said some states, some discos are doing that, as far as I know, I am not aware of any disco across the country that's buying transformers. But it will be interesting in that session if you come with details of those discos and the number of transformers that are supplied to their areas. Otherwise, the discos generally collect money and they don't put back anything. Thirdly, this is your Ban A. I believe where I live is Ban A. I live in Asokoro. And I believe Asokoro is it not Ban A? Oh, what Ban are we?
It should be Bande.
Asokoro.
Bande.
I don't think we get 60% light. And secondly, more importantly, cables. There are cables underground. In most cases, they break down, and we use our money to fix the transformers. I don't know how many millions I spent to fix cables in my area. I don't understand. You collect money, you don't put anything back. I see some I'm not saying lies. I can give you details. And those in my area know that I spend millions to buy cables, underground cables for our area. And I'm Ban A. So I don't understand this your ban. Because Asokoro must be one of the most privileged areas of this country. Is it not so? So I'm talking on behalf of people in Asokoro area and core Asokoro area around Okos and other areas. That's why the problem is we buy cables with our money. So please, Mr. Minister, intervene. But for transformers, we raise our case, we wait for the day you will come with details of those discourse and how much they spend. Otherwise, I think we'll go with the Senate wants us to do. If they come convince us, let's revert to 100% ownership back to government. Yes, they don't add any value. So far, since the privatization, 2013, is it 2013?
2013, yes.
Is there any difference between pre-2013 and post-2013 as far as power distribution and is concerned in Nigeria? There's no difference. So why do you just decide to enrich very few people at the expense of the majority? But we look for the day you come and defend them. Thank you.
You are there, sir.
Minister and Said Outage. Good afternoon, everybody. Minister, I have to commend you very highly for the eloquent presentation. It seems your appointment is the adage of a round peg in a round. You have expert knowledge of this thing, of power, but my major concern is on vandalization. I don't know whether you have a different measures this year on how to overcome this vandalization. Because common knowledge tells us that if you keep doing same thing over and over again, you keep getting the same result. I have not really deeply looked at the budget to know what you have in terms of security of these power gadgets. But my proposal is that something tangible, something different, something reasonable should be done to overcome this vandalization. It has become a recurring decimal, and it's high time we did away with this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
A comparison of this year and last year, there's improvement, and we are happy with it. We're happy with your allocation too, but I have one or two comments on the allocations. We are allocating a very big amount of money for provision of solar street lights, which on its own is a novelty. I agree that for the sake of security, safety of property and life, we need to put daytime to our express roads. I'm not too sure that this amount of money can do the job, especially considering the fact that almost all express roads in Nigeria are important. Lagos, Ibadan, that's, I'm sure it will be one of your catchment roads. No, I'm sure of that one. We have a lot of roads in my own zone too that are very important to me. I mean, North Central, and we are the capital. No, not Gomosha. I'm talking about the central area. I hope you give consideration to it. But I think for us to get out of this program, production of solar lights is not a nuclear science, neither is it rocket science. I don't know how we can start encouraging or investing in production of these lights.
Local patronage.
Yes, so that, I don't mean importing, so that the price can crash down considerably. But that is the only way we can survive. And we have a lot of capable people who can do this in Nigeria. Industrialists who can invest. I think we should do an encouragement, almost all the solar components. The second area, which I a little bit in disagreement with you, is allocation of $25 billion to Federal Ministry intervening in the TCN uncompleted projects. Yeah, I did a small calculation, and I think what we are talking about is just $15 million. And you have said it time and time over that there are so many projects abandoned by TCN. I don't want to handle it in a palliative form by throwing a couple of millions into it. Let's tackle it. Let's make sure that. I mean, I'm looking forward to a situation where you look at it as a big problem and the most important problem you have in this power sector, and put more money there. Definitely, I'm very sure $15 million will not by the end of this year, will not be able to see a significant sign in solving that problem.
Particularly like listening to your presentations each time you come here, because you appear to have good knowledge and insight into your assignment. I'm also delighted that you have a very proactive team, because I've interacted with some of your team members. They also have keyed into your vision. So there are certain challenges, basic challenges that have been elucidated by my colleagues, but I'm concerned about what His Excellency Senator Goji stated, with particular reference to Asokoro. Asokoro is pathetic. I have friends in Lifecam, Abo, even Lube. They enjoy steady power supply. So I don't know what's happening to Asokoro. That's one. And I was also going to speak about the issue of solar street lights. Maybe if we have a breakdown, for instance, I need to know, out of this 24 billion that's going to be spent on solar street lights, how many are coming to my senatorial district, because federal highways also crisscross from my senatorial district into Senator Lalon's place. But I want you to start with my senatorial district before you get to Senator Lalon, please. So, if you can. No, and he doesn't have the right of reply here. So, so please, we want to see that you bring the issue of power to a close during your tenure, if possible. Because from the first day you appeared for screening, you showed capacity and knowledge of the area. So, but they say that if you say there is a function in the family, the dog insists that he must see a bone on the ground to believe that there's something. So concretize most of those plans, because nobody ever gets rewarded for intention, but for results achieved. And I know you have a good team. If you challenge them, you can achieve this. So thank you.
Thank you.
Bayelsa State has been in darkness for several months. The state governor has, on his own, spent enormous sums of money to restore light. Even if light is fully restored, the rate of vandalism in the state, most especially from that Outage axis in River State, has been a problem to us, a very big challenge, because it comes up from time to time. What arrangement is your ministry doing to compensate the state for those long sums of money they use restoring light to the state? That apart, you mentioned you wanted 100 billion naira for rural electrification, but we are giving just 30 billion thereabout. The one we passed for this budget last year, 2024, I, as a senator, have not expressed anything, I've not seen anything, I've not benefited anything from it. Our community, some of our communities actually in rural areas where the national grid couldn't be extended to. And for places like that, don't you think that alternative source of energy like this time, the mini grids are better off for us? And if you are to do that, don't you think that you have to start from those of us who can testify for the efficiency of your job and approve your budget? I don't have any power in my community, in Bayelsa State. For the 2024 budget, nothing is seen. So what arrangement do you have for areas like that, so that they can also have a taste of the national cake? Thank you very much.
I'm just following up the last speaker. There is a problem in Plateau. I had complained formally, informally. This is the first time I'm bringing this matter formally. Honorable Minister, you are aware. TCN, you are aware. To a point where I was deeply involved. I deployed a lot of money. In Plateau State, 70% of the population are without light. That aspect, 2 senatorial districts are without power. And that is we're talking about agriculture. The areas that was producing heavy rice. Even milling, ordinary milling, you can't do milling. I've tried, the last time I approached this matter, and I said, TCM, you were there. And you said BP had approached, they had finished, in 2 weeks' time, I will see something. It's not more than 2 weeks now, before Christmas. I was commending you one day. Press carried it. I said, yes, as part of this government, I will always commend you. I said, yes, there is improvement. We enjoyed Christmas with that. Somebody had to raise and say, if that's the case, there's going to be protests in one of the local governments. We saw you commending, and nothing is happening in your place. Please, I want you to cover this ship. If this thing is processed in Makeri, particularly, go and link up the Makeri Let us have power in 2 senatorial districts. There's always been 1 senatorial district in Plateau State. The other 2 are not working. So we don't want to make a case. We are commending you and somebody is writing DG campaign. Look at your place, no power. Nothing is happening in that place. This is the first time I heard that I had to bring this matter up. I know why I brought it up. You are aware, TCN is aware of this matter. So that next time you come before the Senate, I will not be bringing it up again. Of course, the repercussions will be a different one. We will take a political solution. You know what political solution means. So I'm saying this so that as we are making cover, we are making appeal for increase all over the country. There are areas too that are looking for, even like somebody, my friend will always say, when we are struggling against epileptic supply, he said, give me the epileptic first before I struggle for the stable. So in my case, I have not seen even the power to talk less of epileptic. So please consider this as a very serious complaint coming from me. Thank you very much.
Despite the fact that last year we witnessed a lot of power showdown, but this year we hope it will improve. So we have to work on it. My main complaint, particularly from my senatorial district in Osun East, is Ife South. That's Ifetedo and Garage Road, those are the main towns. They are beyond darkness for long. About 4 years ago, I wrote this year. He said there was no money. This year, you are there now. Before 9th and 10th Senate to roll out, I want these people to have light. It's either you are connecting them from through Garage or from Mondo to the border of Osun and Ondo. That's a winner. Yes. Please.
Thank you. Minister, the reason why I didn't want him to speak is that I thought that we will start Kirichi war again to the back of our